everyone, welcome back to the Q&A. I'm sorry it's a bit late this month. Also, I can't work out whether I'm warm enough, hence why I'm like, ooh. Get my hot water bottle from behind my back. It's one of them days where it's gone cold again and I can't cope. Welcome back to the Q&A series here on Patreon. Thank you so much if you asked a question. There are a few, we'll work through them. I'm just sat trying to get my Cricut app to work so that I can finish making your stickers for May. I wanted to start packing them today and my app is not working. I've tried everything, so rather than just annoy myself further, I'm just hoping it's something to do with the app or something to do with the internet. My internet seems very slow today as well. I don't know what's going on, and hopefully I can resume later today or, you know, tomorrow. So I thought I would film the Q&A. I've already filmed this Q&A once and I wasn't happy with it, so let's do it again. Okay, so first question is from May. How do you deal with burnout? It's funny because when I answered this question the first time around, I listed off a few things that I put into place, and I listed off the measures that I try and sort of follow and patterns and just practices that I try and put into place to try and stop myself from getting burnt out. I think I actually started doing a bit too much in March and it's just got on top of me at the moment. The way I'm going to try and deal with this after filming this video is taking a bit of time off, and I find it really hard. The way that I'm going to try and come out of being burnt out is just taking some time away, taking some time for myself, just doing things that I enjoy that aren't in this room. This room is like my haven. I absolutely love this room, but it's also a place that brings me so many just stressful feelings, like, I don't know. It helps, May, if you can take regular time off, and that's coming from me, the person that finds it really hard to take time away. I have mentioned to you guys that we're going to try and book a holiday for this year, but whether that'll happen, I'm not sure, because we've just had so much to pay for recently that it's kind of daunting. It's kind of depressing that, like, you work really hard and it's just life, isn't it? That all of your money goes on bills or just maintenance stuff for your house, your car. I feel very burnt out at the minute, and it sometimes takes me a while to realise that I'm burnt out. So I think a tip for you would maybe to be actually research the symptoms of burnout. Make sure that you're aware of it, because I'll be honest, until this week, because I've been feeling a bit rubbish and run down. I feel a bit unaccomplished. I feel like whatever I do, I don't feel accomplished. I feel very tired, but I can't sleep at night. My appetite seems to be going a little bit. Just symptoms like that usually mean that you might be suffering with burnout. So if you're aware of the symptoms, I think you can catch it a bit earlier. You can catch it before it gets to the point where you are so exhausted that it takes longer to get yourself out of it. So just look after yourself. I mean, hopefully over time I will become a bit better at looking after myself and avoiding burnout. Everyone gets burnt out from time to time, but if I can somehow stop myself from getting burnt out so often and actually remember to look after myself, then that would be a step in the right direction. And I'm sorry that I can't give you a bit more of a stronger answer, but I think a good place to start would be to research burnout, see what it means and the symptoms, and then just make sure that you're aware of those. Second question from May is, how do you deal with not good enough syndrome? That's a good one. How do you deal with it? For me personally, there are certain creators that I was really comparing myself to and thinking, oh, I will never be as good as them, never be as good. And it's fine to appreciate those creators and admire them, but the moment that it starts having a negative effect on the way you see things is maybe the point where you need to step back. A good place to start would be to realise that there is space for everyone in this world, there is space for everyone in this industry, and to surround yourself with people that encourage that within you and just inspire you and encourage you to do your best and develop your own skills, and just ignore what everyone else is doing. Just surround yourself with people that encourage you and inspire you for the positives, because there are people that inspire you, but to a point where you're like, I wish I was more like them, I wish I was more like them, I wish I was more like them. Try not to think like that. I used to fall into that trap all the time and think I wish I was more like them, and the minute I started to work on my style more and work and focus on developing it more and defining it a bit more, which is an ongoing journey. I will remind you, like, I do my artwork sometimes and I'm like, this is a bit different to what I've been doing for the past couple of weeks, and I like that. And then sometimes I fall out of love with it and I revert back to other illustration habits that I might have developed, and it's an ongoing process. But as long as you're keeping your eyes in your own lane, that is probably one of the best tips I could possibly give, because you are good enough. I think you're good enough. You are good enough. Just surround yourself with people that think and tell you that you are good enough. If you're not happy with certain areas of whatever it is you're doing, if you're not happy with it, be proactive and work towards improving that. I mean, I always have this niggling regret in the back of my head that I should have done more with animals. I should have done more with veterinary science and helping animals. When I was little, I wanted to be a vet, and sometimes part of me is like, you did not try hard enough academically to get there. Would I be happy being a vet? I'm not sure. Would I be happy being a vet nurse? I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you. But to try and sort of, I have a huge interest in animals and animal biology and just science, that I try and research that in my spare time. I'm not happy with my lack of knowledge, so I try and build on that knowledge in my spare time and read books and research online and draw animals. And that's just my little way. It's just an example, I suppose, but it's my way of trying to improve on those areas that I'm not so happy about with myself. And I think that can be applied to every single aspect of your life. If you're not happy with the way you do things, then there's no harm in just admitting that to yourself and being like, hang on, we could do that better, and then just work on that. This question has been asked by a few of you actually, so it wasn't just one person that's asked this question, but the question, are we all right over there? The question is, how do you get over the fear of filming yourself? Now, that's quite funny that you guys should ask this, because as you guys know, we got this new camera last week. And sitting down in front of a new camera and a new lens to try and get used to a whole new sort of layout of filming brings back a bit of anxiety. And I got so used to using the SLR, and you kind of have to make friends with your camera. Maybe it's just me that thinks like that, but you just have to kind of remember that the camera is in your control. Nothing you film can go out to anywhere without you pressing a button and doing it a bit more than that, I guess. But don't let the camera scare you. You're in control of the camera. I think a good place to start, and this is what I did, whether it's what a lot of people do, I'm not sure, but what I did when I decided that I wanted to start a YouTube channel, and this was like 5 years or so before I actually started. I've been on YouTube 3 years next month, and 5 years before that I wanted a YouTube channel, but I was too scared. But I also gave myself a time slot, so I finished work, got the camera out, and it was a time slot between me finishing work and James coming home from work, a time that I knew I wouldn't be disturbed. I actually wrote a script out, and it was the first video I ever did, and it's not on YouTube anymore, thank God, but it was just me saying, hi, my name's Ellis, this is what I intend to do with this channel, welcome, and just awkward conversation like that. It's probably going to be awkward, but you're in control of that. You don't have to publish anything that you're not comfortable with, and also you can film videos, edit them, keep them for yourself, and just get some practice before actually uploading them into the big wide world. For me, I hate my voice. I hate attention being brought to my voice. I hate it when people say, oh, your voice is so cute, your voice is this, your voice is that, because having to live with my voice and not being taken seriously, I have a very negative association with it. I mean, it's not the end of the world, it's my voice, so just get over it. But when people go, you're so cute, you're so cute, that, to be honest, it probably is a compliment, and I should take it that way. But when you've heard it so much throughout your life, sometimes you don't want to be cute, sometimes you need to mean business, sometimes you need to be taken seriously, like when you're ringing up insurance companies and asking them to not mug you off, when you're trying to buy a house, when you go for interviews at a new job. And honestly, I feel like most of the time I'm not being taken seriously because I sound like a child. What I'm getting at is, I'm sure there are bits of each of us that we're not happy with, we're not comfortable with, and we somehow just have to get around that. I mean, I'm still not happy with bits of my face, I'm not happy with my teeth or my voice, and sometimes my makeup's not fine and all that kind of stuff, but The bigger picture is I enjoy making videos. The bigger picture is I enjoy connecting with you guys. What I look like, that's a big ass wasp trying to get in. What I look like isn't the end of the world, and I hope that brings you some sort of comfort that everybody has insecurities and filming videos is hard. That's why not everybody does it. And if you want to give it a go, hats off to you, because it is a really brave thing to do. Not everybody does this, and I think it's awesome that you're even considering trying it. Okay, last question from May is how do you make your tea? And I'm actually drinking green tea at the moment. It's amazing. With green tea, I just chuck a tea bag in and I leave it. Some green teas I've noticed are a bit strong if I do that, so I'll probably leave it about 3 minutes with the tea bag in, and then I take the tea bag out and bin it. It's fine. With English breakfast tea, I probably leave the tea bag in for 2-3 minutes to brew, and then add a rice milk, like a plant-based milk, usually rice milk or oat milk. But truth be told, I don't drink that much tea anymore. I drink green tea. I have a coffee in the morning, otherwise I just feel like I can't function, and I try and only have 1 coffee a day, otherwise it sends me a bit, I feel a bit like, ooh, I get the shakes, ooh. But yeah, tea, that is, I don't know how interested you are in how I make tea. I thought it was a really funny question. But yeah, I just usually boil the kettle, boil the jug, as apparently they say in New Zealand. As we've mentioned in a live video before, boil the jug. The English tend to be quite precious. If you go to the right place in England, they tend to be quite precious about how long you leave your tea bag in. Some Brits will tell you that it is an art that you have to master, and it's a very delicate process, but it's called a builder's brew for a reason. They don't care. You just chuck a tea bag in, let it brew, just add some milk. I don't do sugar in my tea, never have, never will. I think it tastes disgusting, and also I don't need sugar in my tea, I'm sweet enough. But no, sugar in tea is unhealthy and I will never do it. Some people have like 3 sugars in their tea and I'm just like, how? No. If you have sugar in your tea, that's fine, you do you. I'd rather have a biscuit with that sugar in, you know, rather than drink it. I can't stand the taste of tea with sugar in it. Do I have sugar in my coffee? No. Okay, final question is from Lisa. Any future tattoo plans? And not at the moment. I have 5. I think once you've had a tattoo, you get the itch. A lot of people say you get the itch and you just want more and more. Would I have more? Absolutely, definitely. But at the moment, nothing is really jumping out to me that makes me want it permanently on my skin. I have a tattoo of Mew on my ankle. I have oh no, you can't see. I have Expecto Patronum down my arm, Ahimsa here, which means compassion in Hindu. That's kind of like my vegan tattoo, I like to see it as. I have the Cheshire Cat here. That was the first tattoo I ever got, and I have a unicorn on my forearm. I would kind of like a bigger piece, but then again, a bigger piece is harder to cover up if I decide that I don't want to see it that day, or if I want to wear a dress or some tights and I'm just not feeling it that day, you know, whereas the small ones that I've got I'm really happy with. And no, I haven't got any plans at the moment. That could change in the future, but no, not right now. I'm quite content. That is all of my questions for today. I hope you enjoyed listening to them. If you have any questions for next month's Q&A, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. Yeah, now it's time for a proper break. I think I'm going to go and have a lie down actually, and just maybe have a nap and treat myself, because it's been a while since I had a nap in the middle of the day, I'm not going to lie. But yes, thank you for watching everyone, and I'll be back soon.